This manga is something else. Every new season of anime, I'd often ask myself, what should I watch today? A shonen action series, a lighthearted slice of life, or a cute wholesome romance anime? But we all know that the obvious answer is 10 more power fantasy isekai, because that's half the shows you're gonna get. But with fantasy shows reaching new heights of quality year by year, it's hard to deny the sheer impact the genre has on the anime community. Which is why to anyone wanting more fantasy, wanting another Frieren, wanting another Dungeon Meshi, you have to read Hat Atelier. It's a story about a girl discovering a new world of magic and realizing what magic truly means. It's a story that's able to reach beyond the confines of the page in front of you and engulf you into a world full of life and color. It's a story that's able to form a connection with you that goes deeper than just a standout moment. Because in this manga, there isn't just one, but a multitude of moments like these. I've never read a story that's able to capture the essence of what the word magic and magical truly means, better than this one right here. So if you're sitting there, still thinking that all of fantasy is a self-insert story, then I'll have to tell you that times have changed. Because with shows like Frieren and Dungeon Meshi and eventually Hat Atelier, you have to admit that now more than ever, fantasy has set a new standard. Which is why you have to read this manga before the anime releases so that you can say, actually I was a fan of the manga before it got popular. Goddamn manga readers, I swear to God. But before I get into the manga, let me ask you guys something. Do you remember that time when you were a kid when you would curiously ask your parents about something that was on your mind and they'd respond with something along the lines of, one day we'll tell you, one day you'll understand. I'ma have to doubt that. You didn't know why they wouldn't answer your question and it made you confused, slightly mad, but above all, you felt even more curious. Coco feels the same way. In a world where only people born as witches have the blessing of magic, the little girl yearns to experience for herself how it feels to wield such an otherworldly power. What lies beyond the limits of a human? Ever since the day she witnessed magic for the first time, Coco has been in love with it. So when a witch coincidentally comes by and offers to help out, she can't resist the urge to take a quick look at how magic is drawn, even though the witch tells her to stay outside. What could it be, she wonders? What is the truth behind magic? And it turns out, rather than an elaborate mystical ritual, the basis of magic is actually an enchanted pen and some ink. Yet, instead of being disappointed with the outcome, the only thing going through her mind was that this changes everything. Because it means that magic can be used by anyone if they have the right tools and the right motives. So unable to resist her temptations, she takes this hypothesis and tests it out. Coincidentally, as a young child, Coco was already given these tools by a strange man. She has the right pen, she has the right patterns. Now all that she has to do is draw. And then there it was, magic. Coco is enamored by her creation, and from her picture book she continues to draw and draw and draw until she draws something that shouldn't have ever been drawn: forbidden magic. And then, seconds later, everything becomes encased in crystal ice. Her mom, trapped as a statue for all eternity. See, it's revealed that it's not those blessed with magic that can wield it, it's those that were chosen to wield it, all while keeping the truth a secret to the outside world. This is what being a witch means, tricking the world into thinking that they're blessed in order to ensure that magic does not fall into the wrong hands, and keeping this a secret by any means necessary. However, Coco is spared by the witch because it turns out that she is his only lead to a greater mystery involving a major criminal organization. So there is only one thing he can do. He tells her, "You'll have to become a witch." Her eyes light up, shining like the sun itself. And that is chapter 1. From the synopsis alone, I'm sure I've left you thinking, damn, isn't this just Harry Potter with extra steps? And you wouldn't be wrong. Magicless main character gets thrown into a magical world. I wonder where we've heard that before. But what makes this story stand out, despite the seemingly simple plotline, is the amount of depth and design the author has put into making magic seem truly magical. I'm sure we've all seen fantasy anime where they make the magic system boil down to 3 main factors: mana, elements, and special attacks with names and an edgy 13-year-old would come up with. It's as if the entire anime industry has been cooped up on the idea that magic simply means a power system, where you have stats, level requirements to unlock a specific attack, and individual moves that are so inflexible. Most of the magic in anime has become a copy of magic in video games, and it's gotten to the point where magic systems have gone so unoriginal that I'm pretty sure 90% of them are just copy pastas of each other. But in this case, in the case of Hat Atelier, it is the complete opposite. It has a magic system that looks, feels, and is genuinely magical. In this world, magic isn't something that will make the impossible possible with a snap of a finger. Like any other science, magic is grounded in reality and is bound by laws. If you want to make an impossibility a reality, then you have to be willing to face the consequences of doing so. Healing magic being used on people means that the door is open for human experimentation. Magic used for self-defense means that countries will exploit it in wars. And if everyone has the ability to wield magic, then there will always be someone willing to use it the wrong way. Magic isn't treated as a miracle cure for every situation like in every other show, because in this world, even magic has its limits. Even magic can't fix my addiction to Genshin Impact. Hey, it is what it is. But despite this, the manga never denies the fact that magic is magical. It has endless possibilities. It can change people's lives, and its very existence is a miracle, even though it's not always a miracle cure. This is what makes magic magic, not used as an uninspired power system where battle-hungry idiots can duke it out, but as a fundamental tool ingrained into the core of this world, a force that can be applied to different parts of life besides fighting. Because when you have a miracle, wouldn't you try and use it to its fullest? But as if a great magic system and an intricately designed world weren't enough, the manga backs it up with some of the most out-of-this-world art you can find in this medium. Panels are intricately laid out in a way that you get to experience these minute-by-minute details all flowing seamlessly as you go from one page to the next. And it makes the world seem that much more alive. More than just a still image on a page, it conveys movement, expresses emotion, and gives you a sense of dimensionality that goes beyond the boundaries of manga itself. The art makes you feel Coco's admiration, her excitement, her innocence. It lets you hear the droplets of water falling, the howling intensity of the wind, or the crashing of waves. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then this is worth 1,000,000. Whether it's the details, the paneling, or the designs, the art in this manga is beyond perfection. Hell, some of these panels look like they belong in a freaking museum, which they absolutely do. And if even after all that, you're still sitting here like, but should I really read it though? Then, I don't know, man, you have shit taste. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, don't shoot the messenger, it is what it is. And yet, despite how beautiful it looks or how interesting the world seems, I haven't heard too many people talking about it. I only found out about it after the anime dropped and people were making a big deal out of it. Maybe it's because the manga isn't a shonen, or there are too many fantasy stories out there, but still, it's insane how this masterpiece of a manga has gone unmentioned for so long outside of its community. There are very few authors that can come up with an entirely new world so full of depth, so rich in culture, and so immersive in its story. There are even fewer artists that are able to take this concept and transform it fully into a magical world, one that extends beyond the limits of a page. Enough with the isekais and power fantasies. I want to see a fantasy doing fantastical things, because if Freerun, Dungeon Meshi, and Hat Atelier has shown us anything, it's that fantasies are more than an escape from reality. It's a way for many of us to appreciate it, whether it's learning the value of time, learning that meals are a privilege to be savored, or maybe just learning what makes miracles so magical. Fantasy has the potential to change the anime community, to change the industry, to establish itself as something greater than what it currently is today. I could go on and on listing what it is I love about this genre, these fantastical worlds that break the boundaries of possibility while still being so grounded in reality. These fantastical people that reflect aspects of who we are today and who we want to be tomorrow. But I guess through all this rambling nonsense, what I really wanted to say was,
yeah.